Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, Manuel. Richard, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you guys. How's everything going at your end?
Yeah, shitty with us, so it's good to be in class.
Yes. It's good to be in class when the weather is this bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you, Alejandra? How was your trip? You still in holidays or?
No, it was only for the weekend. It was really good. I want to go back.
Where was it?
Magnetic Island.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. That's great. What about you, Manuel? How you been, my friend?
I've been good, thank you. Busy week, but yeah, not bad.
All right. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right. The class that we're starting today is a very fascinating one, I believe. And I guess a one that is very familiar to many of you because regardless of our profession, we always are involved in constant improvement processes. Yeah. And this class is about that because it is a very important skill that any project manager should have when implementing projects, when managing projects, when monitoring projects. So at all, I just admitting people here to the room. So just people will be joining as I speak. We have Diego, we have Lance, Wins, good morning. Thank you guys for joining. And Diego, good to see you. Thank you for joining the class, Diego Sandoval, Wins. Thank you as well. Yeah, so this very class is about something that is called constant improvement, which I was saying is something that we all do at any moment and in which we have an interaction with a process from a critical perspective. Yeah. So we have been talking a lot about processes in the last classes. Processes are always involved in our projects because we follow a methodology, isn't it? But when it comes to constant improvement, it is very, very healthy to analyze this from a manufacturing perspective. All right. And the reason we need to address this from a manufacturing perspective is because this is how everything started. This is how the constant improvement concept started. After World War II, Japan was destroyed. Yeah. And that was the beginning of, all right, how can we do things better now that we have a chance? So from a difficult situation, from a total destruction in terms of infrastructure, in terms of how the economy was operating, then they thought, all right, what about if we find different ways for us to start again, if that is the case, or if we have something that is already running but is not working well because the destruction as a result of the war, how can we do things better? How can we improve what we already have? So the mindset is what really matters here. It's not much about the method. So that is the first thing that I want you guys to understand in this particular class. People think that when we talk about constant improvement, what we are really trying to address first is the method, and that is not the case. This is number 2. The first thing that we need to address when we are working in terms of constant improvement is the mindset, all right? So what is the name of this class? Constant improvement. Now, for those of you who are in fields like engineering, this is something that is very, very familiar. For those of you who are in the areas of business management, this is something that is familiar too. But if you are in marketing, if you are in communications, probably this is not such a familiar term. But it is critical for us project managers because we are always looking at processes. We are always looking at better ways to do things. So what we need to do, once we understand that the mindset is first and then the method, what we need to do here in this mindset stage is question everything. That is the beginning of that mindset. It's understanding that if we don't question things, then by default, we have the wrong mindset. If we don't question things, by default, we have the wrong mindset. Guys, what happens when you don't question processes? What happens when you start working as a new employee in a company and you ask someone, hey, why we do things this way here in this company? What is the usual answer to that question? Think about it. Think about that story. Someone is starting, probably that could happen to you or happened to you. What is the usual answer? I mean, in majority of companies, not in all of them, but what is the usual answer when you ask someone, a colleague, a coworker, your manager, hey, why we do things this way here? What is the usual answer, Manuel?
Because probably they say we are doing in this way.
100%.
Is tradition, is the custom?
Yep. That is majority of times, the vast majority of times, the answer that you will get from managers, from supervisors, from colleagues. This is the way we do things here. And that is a very, very dangerous mindset for any area in the company. To think that way is a very dangerous mindset, but especially in particular for the project manager. The project manager that thinks, oh, this is the way we do things here, and this is, it has been working for the last 20 years. This is a tradition. This is the status quo. That project manager, in many ways, is the antithesis of what a project manager should be. The project manager, the good one, has this mindset, which is, all right, why? How can we do things differently? How can we change what we are doing? Thank you, Manuel. That is so spot on. Now, the other component of this mindset is to have a positive mind, a positive approach. Why? Why is important for us project managers First of all right, to question processes, to question methodologies, to question suppliers, to question ourselves, to question our business method, to question our business model, all right? That is critical. That is number one. But then we need to think about, all right, why positivism, having a positive attitude, is critical here as well. Why? I will ask Alejandra why it is important to have this positive mindset for us project managers when we are talking, working, implementing, executing constant improvement.
So that allows us and the team to get like in the same kind of mood and try to like reach the goal. So instead of being like all thinking about different stuff that probably will not be that positive, we need to encourage everyone to have like the better attitude and like in the workplace and stuff. So that's why we always have to be positive and talk to them in a positive way so we can get the best of them and the best of us.
Really good, really good, really good. We need to have a mindset in which we believe, we actually strongly believe that people that is working in our team, they are good at what they do. And that's why we are, or that's why they are working, collaborating in our team. Because by default, we think they are really good at what they do. So if they are really good at what they do, my role as a business manager, as a project manager, as a founder, as a director, will be to create a work environment, a safe work environment for them to challenge, right word, for them to challenge, right word, current business processes, and even seriously, current business model. So it's not just about, all right, the reach could go as far. The reach of this mindset could go as far as challenging the business method, the business model. Anyone here experience with developing a business plan? Well, you know that when you develop a business plan, basically what you're doing is writing on paper, well, in a computer, what is the ABC of that business? What is the recipe of that business? Why we do things in a certain way? How we execute them? What is the result? That is the business method or the business model, which is what we try to transcribe, which is what we try to reflect in our business plan. So that is macro. The business model is macro. What is micro then? If the business model is macro, what is micro? What goes before? The processes. So the vast majority of project managers, I would say 80% of them usually are involved in improving processes. But when you have a very experienced manager, a very experienced founder, a very experienced entrepreneur, when you have this powerhouse, when you have this individual that is a little bit beyond average, that individual, sometimes 20% of times, I strongly believe, is actually looking at how to improve the macro, which is the business model. So if you really want to make the most out of this knowledge, you may want to think about how you can address right now, analyze right now, how your business model is working. It's an accountability of the founder. It's a responsibility of the project manager. It's an accountability of the investor, if it's an active investor. It's a responsibility of the project manager. It's an accountability of the project sponsor. It's a responsibility of the project manager. It's looking beyond the processes, which is a standard, nothing special. If you improve processes, this is the job. Nothing special here. Quite special, I believe, when you have a founder, when you have a project manager, when you have an investor, when you have a project sponsor that is actually thinking, wow, how can we even change? How can adapt our business model to the current situation, to the current moment? All right, so I really want to touch about what we discussed last class in terms of innovation. Last class, in our innovation class, we talked a little bit about the new frontier, the new business frontier. What is the new business frontier? What is happening right now? The metaverse. It's not I want to be really, really clear on this one. It's not about if we like it or not. It's not about Facebook, please. Because when people think about the metaverse, they connect straight away Facebook because it was the first company talking about it. All right, fair enough. The first company talking, to the masses about it. To the masses about it. Yeah. But if we connect the dots, we will see easily that that frontier that is coming, that is actually here, is the metaverse. Again, it's not about like or dislike, no. It's about emotion. It's about engagement. It's about attachment with our customers, with our employees, with our team. How can we use the possibilities of the metaverse to evolve our business model so it also can play, work, operate in a virtual environment, but not in a digital environment as we know it, but in a virtual one. And if you are a business owner, if you are a manager, and you are not thinking, as I speak, in terms of how to move your business to the metaverse, you should ask yourself why. You should ask yourself why. This is going to open a new market. Guys, I want you guys to realize that opening or having a new market is something that is very, very rare to occur, to happen. We experience this. We have experienced this new market thing 3 times, 4 times in our lives. The first time when we had access to telecommunications. So when we business owners, when we business people, when we project managers, for the very first time had access to telecommunications, fax, telephones, that was an opportunity for a whole new market to open to us. Because happened to be that you were in a country, in a city, in a town, and then you can reach out to someone else that is far away from you. That was the first time that we had a new market for us to explore. I'm pretty sure that you may remember the yellow pages and how important they were for someone, you know, for a business person. That was a critical document, a critical database. That database was, in fact, a new market. That was the first time that we moved from the face-to-face interaction, the handshake, the welcome to my shop, welcome to my company, to let's talk about it, regardless if you're in New York and I am in Brisbane. New market, all right? And a lot of companies exploited this dramatically and grew dramatically as a result of this. Ask someone in telemarketing and they will say, yes, this is actually something that changed, you know, the perspective of many businesses. Then in the year 2000, we had another big change. What was that big change around the year 2000s? For business people, for investors, for project managers, for people involved in business, what was it?
Internet.
100%. At that time, everything was like internet. All right, what is that? Emails, communications in terms of emails. And then, wow, it's beyond that. It's communication and sales using websites. And then, wow, social media, communication using networks. And then, wow, e-commerce payments. That was a situation in which, all right, companies truly evolve to be there in the internet. But you will now, 2022, agree with me in this one. Companies, majority of companies were very, very slow to be a good, strong player in that new market that was created because of this new technology called the internet. I'm going to give you an example. If your company is not selling online using an e-commerce platform, your company is behind, period. Period. No excuses. If your company is not selling online, facilitating people to buy what you sell online, your company is behind. You cannot question this in terms of, oh, no, it should be all right. We have a different business model and we are traditional and we are business to business and we, whatever is the, no. If your company is not facilitating people to acquire what you sell using digital technologies, online digital technologies, your company is behind. Now, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, a lot of companies were having websites, but those websites were not responsive, were not fluid. Yeah, a responsive website is that one that changes depending on the screen that you are using. Yeah, they adapt to that screen size. And many companies in this country, in Australia, they were so slow moving their traditional HTML, sometimes even Flash websites to something that is called HTML5, which allows the code to change depending on the experience, the user experience, the user interface. Nowadays, I strongly believe that 95, 98% of websites are responsive. Are you following me with this, guys? Now, the companies, large, medium, small, that are selling or facilitating the selling online using e-commerce methodologies and technologies are at the forefront of the game in terms of payment methods. Guys, with COVID-19, 2 years ago, companies were forced to actually sell online, forced. You know, the company that sells products for dogs, the company that sells products for cars, the company that sells products for construction, the company that sells products for you to have an office, for you to have a computer, all these companies were forced like this in a matter of weeks to adapt methodologies so they can sell online. And that's why you saw all these communications around only pick up orders because of the COVID restriction, all right? How many companies lost millions of dollars in terms of sales because they didn't have an e-commerce platform for people to actually order online? Now, the companies that did have the e-commerce platform to sell online were the companies that did pretty good in COVID-19. So that was the second market, the internet, and the possibilities the internet gave us. But now we have a new frontier, a new market to pursue. And this one is the virtual one, which is what we call the metaverse. Do you want to be a follower or do you want to be a pioneer here? That's the question. If you want to be a follower, doesn't matter. You just need to wait for others to start the journey and then you follow. But if you want to be the pioneer, you will be hurt, you will be bruised, you will be bleeding because it's not going to be easy. But the market, believe me, the market will see you as a company that believes in innovation. And that's why I'm connecting this constant improvement class to our previous class. Guys, all the units in this program are connected. This is what makes this program different. There is a logical connection in terms of the units that we see. We cannot see constant improvement if we haven't seen innovation. So with the metaverse, it's not about the processes, it's about the business model or the business method for some. If you are not starting to question how your company could actually operate in the metaverse today, I strongly believe that you are missing a big opportunity to make a dent in the universe. All right. Now, there are some methodologies that we use in order to be able to manage what I have just explained to you. One of those methodologies is something that is called Six Sigma. Six Sigma. Anyone? Anyone has had the opportunity to work or to be part of a team that use a Six Sigma methodology? Could you please share your experience if that is the case? Or this is new to everyone, or someone has heard about Six Sigma, please. Tell me, guys. So no idea about Six Sigma, anyone? You have never heard this before? Ale, never?
I heard about it, but long time ago, and I never worked with that. So I know it's try to low the like mistakes or kind of defects on the processes, but that's all I know.
And that's all you need to know. I mean, that is the beginning of everything else. Once you know the beginning, then you start connecting everything else, all the knowledge that comes after. That is a really good piece of knowledge, the one that you have there, Alex. It's about understanding that defects in terms of product development, in terms of manufacturing, will happen regardless of how good we are. We are going to have defects. Now, what Six Sigma is trying to do is to develop a business process in which every 3.4 million units being produced, one has a defect. One. So if you are producing shoes, or if you are producing sunglasses, or if you are producing headphones, or if you are producing cameras, and you follow Six Sigma methodologies, how many defaults, how many defects can you have if you produce 3.4 million units? Alvin, you tell me.
I'm not sure.
All right, cool, fine. Patricio, you are a company that is producing shoes or whatever, hats, and your company is producing 3.4 million of those. How many units will be broken, will have a defect? How many?
One.
One? One. That is Six Sigma, guys. Is a process that is implemented majority of times, the vast majority of times at manufacturing level. So you can ensure to your investors, to your insurers, to your customers, that every 3.4 million maximum, one product will have a defect, which is pretty good, isn't it? And that's why you have entire teams being trained in large corporations, in large companies, in terms of Six Sigma. Does this apply to you if you are outside manufacturing? Not much. But it's one of the methods, it's one of the systems that we use in order to manage constant improvement. All right. Anyone else has experience with other methods that are intended for a company to reduce dramatically the number of negative events, the number of negative products, the number of negative situations in terms of what we produce or you produce? Any other method that comes to your mind? Because that is the first element of competency that we need to understand in this class. Now that we know what is constant improvement, all right, now we need to discuss the systems that exist for you to actually implement constant improvement. One of them is Six Sigma. I will not tell you more than that because you don't need to know more than that. If you need to know more than that, it's because you work in manufacturing and you need to expand that knowledge, but that is something that you will have to do on your own. But there are more methods that you can use in order to manage and implement constant improvement in a company. Anyone? No, no idea?
Sorry, you were asking methods?
Yes, methods, systems
Um,
to implement constant improvement. I gave you one, which is called Six Sigma. I gave you that one, guys. And now you know that Six Sigma is a system that is used in manufacturing companies. So every 3.4 million units being produced, maximum one has a default, maximum one. If you have two, the people that is working in the Six Sigma department, they will be belt. Because that is not how it should be if you are following Six Sigma methodology. But that is more for manufacturing.
There's a really old one which I think is still used today, like ISO 9000 or ISO 9002.
100%.
It's not talked about much anymore.
No, but it's like with Six Sigma. But they are the fundamentals. They are the principles of constant improvement for many, many traditional companies.
And you see a lot of their logos on products.
Because that is telling about how good they are in terms of quality. So ISO standards is another system or methodology. So we have Six Sigma. We have ISO. What ISO stands for, Wins? Patricio.
I have no idea.
Manuel.
I don't know. Sorry.
That worries me, guys. That worries me. I am not worried about Six Sigma. Six Sigma, very specialized for manufacturing companies. ISO standards for everyone. And even though it's not being used that much nowadays, this was the backbone of 90% of companies in Europe and USA since the 70s up until now, the backbone. Richard, ISO?
Is it industry standard organization? Is it industry or, yeah, that's industry standard, yeah.
Yeah, international.
Yeah.
International standard organization. And we need those standards, especially if you are producing components and parts. Because you want people that is buying those components and parts always to have the same product in terms of size, in terms of quality. If you are a company selling screws, you want those screws to be used here or in Russia, and the same size of that screw will be for any other company that is producing a screw of that size. So regardless if you buy it from manufacturer A or manufacturer B, that screw will work because these companies follow ISO. Companies that don't follow ISO, they go like, I don't believe in the metric systems. I'm just going to create my own screw. Happens to be that nobody can use it because the objects, the products where you should be using that screw will not be adapted to that screw size. So ISO is about we all in planet Earth, we all do the same. So there are many variations of ISO. Some of them are more for quality, some of them are more for insurance, some of them are more for environmental friendly processes. Good, thank you, Richard. So that is one that I want you guys to have a look at, the International Standard Organization, the ISO protocols. Now, there is another system that is called TQM. What is that?
Total quality management.
Sure. And what is the objective? What is the mindset?
Well, I guess it's a, given the name, it's a framework of managing quality. So I guess there's a standard framework that you work within to manage it.
It gives us the framework for us to be able to do pretty well in terms of what we do, yes. But what is the spirit of it? What is the motto? What is the slogan of it? Because this one came with a slogan, funny, but true. The motto is, we do things right the first time and always. We do things right the first time and always. So it's not about what could be wrong. It's not about, yes, we have some acceptance in terms of defaults, like Six Sigma does, which is 1 unit in 3.4. With total, that's why it's called total quality management, which is another system for you to apply constant improvement in a company. This methodology, this method has a motto, a mindset, which is we do things right the first time and always. All right, so now we have learned a little bit, but we are going to get further on this when we do the practical class. We are going to have an expert talking about this from a practical, real perspective. But we need to be prepared for that moment. So when that person talk to us about Six Sigma or total quality management or ISO, we understand what that person is talking about. So there is another method, and with this one I finish in terms of methodologies for you to apply constant improvement. There is another method that is called Kaizen. All right. Now,
The Japanese one, right?
yeah, that's the Japanese one. Yeah. And what is the mindset of that one? Anybody has heard about Kaizen before?
Yeah.
This is the,
So this is basically a mindset of constant improvement,
yes, yes.
consistently looking for it as well.
To improve processes and things in the company to make them easier and better.
Which is constant improvement, yeah? So constant improvement is Six Sigma. Constant improvement is ISO. Constant improvement is TQM. Constant improvement is Kaizen. Six Sigma, one unit has a default in 3.4 million. Easy to understand. More for manufacturing. ISO, we all do, regardless of where you are located on planet Earth. If we follow standard organization principles, we all do things the same way. So any customer from everywhere in the world can buy from us, and the quality, the size will be as expected. Total quality management, extremely simple. We do things right the first time and always. What is the motto of Kaizen? Small wins make the difference. Small wins make the difference. You don't need to change the entire system, the entire methodology, the entire business, not at all. You change little things first, small wins, and that will create an environment for you to then tap into a new small little thing, and then a new one, and so on. And as a result of this dynamic, you are going to transform your company in terms of constant improvement. This one is starting from the specific, and then it goes to the general. Every little thing could be fixed. As a result of that, the outcome will be better. It's a very conscious, very down-to-earth methodology. I like it. I like it. I believe it applies to all companies, whereas Six Sigma applies to manufacturing companies, whereas ISO applies to large multinationals. Guys, for a company to have an ISO certification, you need to be prepared to pay anything to the ISO organization for they to give you that label that we were talking about, remember? You need to be able to pay anything between $500,000 to $3 million. So this is not for a company like mine or for a small, medium-sized business. For you to have the certification, you will have auditors from the international organization coming to your company to verify that you follow the international organization processes. So it's not easy to have that certification. It's very expensive to have that certification. That's why when you have a company that has that certification, they add that label, the ISO label in whatever field they have achieved, to their advertising and to their publicity and promotions. So it's not for everyone. Total quality management, even though I like it, in terms of how it sounds, oh, we always do things right. The first time and always, even though it sounds amazing, guys, that is very difficult to apply. In a market that is changing dramatically as we speak, can you really have that motto? Can you really have that motto? We always do things right? I don't know. I think that it's too much pressure. Sarah, what do you think? What do you think about, I mean, can you do always, if you have a business, if you have a company? It sounds amazing to say we always do things right, first time and always. Can you really achieve that level of quality, Sarah? Is that something that you can commit to in terms of your business, Sarah? Can you tell me a little bit about your perspective, please?
Well, if I have goals, I can achieve standard, like a quality that I want to achieve.
Yes.
But it just depends of how big is the company, obviously.
Of course, if we have these goals and we stipulate these goals, it's more likely that we are going to achieve that ideal scenario, 100%. And that's why planning is so important. And that's why this unit is highly connected to business knowledge, because if we don't have the objectives, we don't have direction. I want you guys to remember that the summatory of your objectives at business level, the summatory, when you add all of them, as a result of achieving all your objectives, you achieve something that is called vision, with V, vision. Not mission with M, but vision. And the vision is what gives direction to a company. Fantastic, Sarah. Thank you so much. Look, how connected this is to business management, isn't it? Impressive, impressive. How important is that you guys understand now that the vision of the company is different to the mission of the company? How important is for you guys to understand now that the vision is achieved by default? You need to work to achieve objectives, yes. You, when you have a company, when you have a business, when you have a project, you need to work hard to achieve objectives. Do you need to work hard to achieve vision? No, because the vision is achieved by default when you achieve the objectives that are below that vision. How interesting and how important is this? And that's why, and this is something that not everybody knows, that's why the vision of a company is a secret. You don't want your competitor to know your vision. You don't. You don't. You don't want the market to know your vision. You don't. Why? Why you don't want your competitor to know your vision, Patricio?
Because if they know the vision, they can see how they can get there faster, how they can achieve or be bigger than you.
Of man. Thank you. That's it. That, I mean, if you are a good player, if you are a good company, you know, you have good founders, you have some recognition in the market, you have some good products, you have some good clients, you have a good branding. And then you start telling everyone, including competitors, what is your vision? If your competitor that is not as good as you oh my goodness, Sarah's vision is quite good. And she shared it with us. We are going to do whatever it takes to get the first. They could even sabotage your company. The market is cruel. They don't follow many rules. So you don't share your vision, for God's sake. And have a look at the internet, how many naive companies, naive managers share their vision in their websites. Happens to be that they share the vision because it's not the right one. It's just for the human resources department to, you know, collaborate with the people in marketing doing the website. Happens to be that it's not a proper vision statement, which is, doesn't matter. It's just bullshit. Majority of visions are like that. They are not real ones. Because if a company shares the vision, that person that is sharing that secret should be addressed by investors, by company founders, by directors. You don't share your vision. That is where you want to be in the medium term. Guys, not in the long term, for God's sake. Hey, be careful with that one. No long term. Because if you go to the business book, they will tell you long term. But the business book was written 10 years ago when we were able to plan for the long term. You're lucky if you can plan for 6 months nowadays. You're lucky. So if you have a vision statement that is spanning over a period of 1 year, I wonder if that business planning is correct. It may not be. It's very difficult to plan. I mean, who knows what will happen in 2 years? So it's not about long-term planning. The long-term planning, gone. The sales forecast beyond a year, gone. I mean, how stupid it is for someone, an investor, a bank, to ask you, or government, if you are participating in a grant. We need to talk about grants, by the way, one day, guys, because that is a really important and very positive thing that you can do in Australia, even if you are students, to pursue government grants, all right? How stupid it is for a council, for a government agency to ask you for a 5-year sales forecast. Stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Give me the sales forecast for the next 6 months. Because I understand as an investor that no one can plan. Nobody knows what is going to happen in the long term. So the vision is medium term. The vision is the secret. The vision is connected to what we want to achieve. And the vision is achieved as a result of we executing our objectives, our business objectives. How we achieve our objectives, though, how we achieve the objective. Now we know that we achieve the vision because we achieve the objectives, yes? How do we achieve the company's objectives? Open question for anyone. Because there is not a space for us to be subjective in project management, you know that. So it is black and white. How we achieve vision in a company, because we achieve the objectives by default, we achieve the vision. All right, awesome. 10 points. How do you achieve company's objectives though? What is below the company objective? At the top, we have the vision. In the middle, we have the objectives. What is below? What do you need to do for you to achieve one of these objectives that you have? I'm going to tell you something. Majority of companies, good, well-governed companies, they should have around four objectives. It's not about having 20 objectives or having one. Usually we have 4 objectives when we manage strategic planning. All right. Now, how do you achieve one of these 4 objectives, of 3 or 5? But it's around that figure. How? What is below? The task, for God's sake. And you should know this because you are in project management. The task. The task is the homework, is what you need to do, is the tangible thing. The task. When you achieve the task, when you execute the task, then as a result of it, you achieve the objectives. Guys, give me an example of a company objective, please.
Increase the sales.
Increase the sales. Give me a better description. You are close, but you have gave me 20%.
Increase 5% of the sales.
Sorry, I just lost the. Start again.
Increase the 5% of our sales next month.
Getting there, Ale, getting there, but little problem there. Try again. Increase sales of what? Let's call it product
Of a
A.
certain product.
All right, and that's what I mean. Let's call it let's call it product A for the sake of the exercise. So increase sales of product A by 5%. And what was the other thing that you said after that, Alejandra?
The time next month.
Wrong. Sorry to be this straight, Alejandra, but I want you to learn this. Not next month. Big problem there. No, give it to me the right way, Alejandra. It's very similar to next month, but what month is this one, Alejandra?
November, so it will be.
So start again.
So increase the sales of product A 5% on December.
That's it. That's it. And I am sorry to be this strict, but I know by experience that when you write next month, nothing happens. Because if I read that business document today, all right, next month will be December. But what about if I read the document in December? Remember what I told you. I know that Manuel has now understand this pretty well. There is not a space for anything subjective in project management. What is the opposite of something being subjective, guys? Objective. So we always, and that's why, and Manuel knows, when we do project manager or project management, we need to wear that hat. And that hat reads here, we are objective. So when you say next month, that is subjective. When you say December 15, we achieve 5% increase in sales of product A, that is a fantastic objective, properly structured. And that is yelling to investors, stakeholders, how professional, how well prepared you are, how well prepared you are in business. So Think about it. All right, Alejandra, if you want to achieve 5% increase in sales of product A by December 15, December 15 is in 1 month. How you achieve objectives? What I told you just before. How we achieve objectives? By executing what?
Tasks.
Task. Well done. All right. So tell me, Alejandra, which task or which tasks can you execute to achieve 5% increase in product sales by December 15?
Like investing on more publicity for the product, going like opening a new like a new store if you have stores.
Fantastic. All right, fantastic. Those are tasks. Now, just a little thing there, especially now that we're talking about constant improvement, we need to think about, all right, how can we improve? It's not about investing in publicity, guys. Be careful with that one, Ale. You never invest in publicity. Never. Never.
What is marketing?
You invest in marketing, yes. Where are you? I cannot see you, Sarah. I probably just have the wrong view. Ah, yeah. You invest in marketing. You invest in advertising. You don't invest in publicity. Publicity is the result of Manuel going, and talk to an agency as a student and saying to the agent, hey, you know what? In that project management class, we are actually learning what is constant improvement. But if I give $20 to Manuel, as I need to give to LinkedIn because I do LinkedIn advertising and I invest $20. But if I give $20 to Manuel, hey, Manu, take these $20 and go to the agency and tell them how good these classes are. That is not publicity anymore. That is advertising. You got it, Ale? Ale, never talk in terms of publicity if you are connecting the term dollars or money, because that is what ends publicity and what creates advertising. All right. But yes, that will be a really good task to achieve 5% increase in sales, to invest in Google AdWords, to run a Google AdWords campaign in the Gold Coast. And we are run that Google campaign in the Gold Coast for 15 days. And we are going to try to communicate this to young people, males between 15 years and 25 years. All right, that is the task. It's associated to a figure in terms of investment and time. All right, now just to finish with this, what will be another activity that you can do, Patricio, to achieve 5% of sales in terms of increase 5% sales for product A? What will be another activity or task that you can do?
Nothing comes to my mind right now. No, I'm sorry. My mind's in blank right now.
You need to be connected, my friend. Imagine that I say the same. Imagine that I say the same. All right? No, let's take advantage of the classes, my friends. For those of you who are not looking at the camera, I don't ask you. Don't worry. Listen to the class, whatever. That's your issue. But if you are connected to the class, let's connect so we move forward fast. It's about learning fast. We were talking with Manuel a few months ago about how we should promote what we do. And I told Manuel, this is about learning fast. Let's cut all the crap here, all right? It's about learning fast. But learning fast is not about me teaching you fast. No, it's about me teaching you fast, quickly, efficiently, but you need to be full on connected. All right? One task is to advertise in Google AdWords, so we increase sales and it will happen, but that will be one task. What will be another task that you can do as a business owner or marketing person to increase sales? Wins.
Yes.
You working in a company, the company owner or your manager is telling you, hey, you need to increase 5% of product A by 15th of December. You cannot do Google AdWords because we already have that task here written. Give me another example, give me another idea that we can implement so we increase sales by 5%. That is not Google AdWords. What it could be? Wins.
So maybe we can make some discount or
Yes, 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 thank you.
advertise.
So one of the tasks that we will do is to reduce in our brochures, in our website, in our e-commerce. We're going to reduce the price tag by 50% or by 20%. And then you say to people, if you want to buy this product, just add the code discount to the shopping cart, and that will give you 20% discount.
How about something innovative, new?
Yep, elaborate more. Like what?
Like create something new to achieve that 5%?
Yep, like what?
No, I mean, like it depends by the business, but probably you can create strategies or to achieve that objectives, executing task. I mean,
All right. Yes, but remember, we need to be objective in terms of what is that we're talking about so we can ponder it. All right. For example,
new products. So for example, new courses. So for example, something that can be
no, Sarah.
can be interesting.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I need to tell you that's not how it is. All right. And I need to tell you why with all respect, with all respect. Hey guys, I need to tell you, I was fired. I was fired from a school, basically, because I was like this, but I cannot change. I was telling my students that's wrong. Yeah,
What do you mean?
and I am telling you, first of all, that I hope that everybody here gets that when I say you're wrong, yeah, it's because I want you to learn. It's not anything personal. It's not about personality threats or me being aggressive or shit like that. No, it's because straight away I need to tap into that weakness. So you just move fast and you learn the concept now, you know, and if it hurts you or if it makes you feel uncomfortable, so be it. But we need to understand that that is the environment for us to learn. So Sarah, no, and I'm going to tell you why not. Because developing a new product is a massive enterprise, a massive enterprise. Developing a new product, in fact, is a business strategy. And Sarah, you were using the business, you were using the word strategy just before. You did, yes? You agree with me? Guys, anyone here, you remember what I told you colloquially, what I told you a few weeks ago about the word strategy? You remember what I told you? About how careful we should be when we use the word strategy? Anybody remembers that? No? I will tell you one more time. All right? It's like when you talk about sex. You remember now?
You cannot talk about it with everyone.
No. Because it's such an important thing. It's such an important thing. It's such a massive thing. You cannot just develop a strategy to execute a task. No, the strategy is connected with that business vision. And strategies are very, very complex scenarios in which the business owner or director needs to make a huge, difficult decision. And the decisions are develop a new product. That is one decision. But developing a new product is not easy, my friends. I'm telling you, it's not easy. That is one thing that the founder can do. All right, I'm going to develop a new product and I'm going to sell that product here in this country, my country, Australia. That is one strategy. And that strategy is called product development. What is the other strategy that we can do?
The market.
The market development. So we say, my product is good, we go to a different market. Fantastic. Second strategy that we can do. What is the third strategy that you can do?
Improve the product that I already have.
No.
The innovation? No.
Yeah, this is, you know, and this, guys, I really want you guys to connect with me because this piece of knowledge is critical for you to understand business. All right, this is what you learn if you do an MBA. You know, the reason you pay $30,000-$40,000 to do an MBA is to be able to manage a strategy. That's why when you manage a strategy, you get paid $300,000 per year. It's because you make the decision. And you tell the company, we're going to develop a new product, but that is very risky. If you say the company, we're going to develop a new product and we're going to sell it here in Australia. All right, that is product development, but that is risky because the product may fail.
But if the product is not failing, it can be like it can be like the more return on investment.
Of course, and that's why it's so good. And that's
yeah,
why.
But in this case, I can achieve my objectives. I can achieve my goals if I can't fail with the product using this strategy.
With that strategy, you achieve the business vision. The vision, all right? You have
How about goals.
The goals are specific. The goals are specific. So the goals are specific to what? To what you do very well in the company, your strengths. The goals are specific to what? To what you don't do very well in your company, your weaknesses. The goal is connected to what? To that opportunity in the market that you can capitalize on. The goal is connected to what? To that threat in the market that you should avoid. I hope I am making myself clear. And that's what I told you, that majority of times in a business plan, you have 4 objectives because the smart planner, the strategist, the person that is developing that plan is looking at objectives from that perspective. What is that we do well? So we continue doing it. What is that we don't do well? So we get rid of it. What is that could kill our company because it's a major threat? So we try to avoid it. So we manage it. What is that huge opportunity in the market? So we are the first one. Playing with that is called the SWOT analysis. Yes, the SWOT analysis. What the SWOT?
What is the third variable in strategy? I mean, like it's the product, market, and the third thing is the risk, or? So
we have only two variables. One is one is market, and the other one is product. Yeah. So when we have new market and current product, if your business wants to go to Singapore, Sarah, if you want to open your business in Singapore, but you don't change your products, you don't change your offering,
that is a medium risk.
It's a medium risk, because you don't change the product, but you change the market, medium risk. And the name of that strategy is market development. You develop a new market. Medium risk. If you don't change the market, you keep selling in Australia, but you change your product, that is product development. Medium risk. Why medium? Because you know Australia, you know the law, so that is managed. But developing a new product is risky. So we have 2 strategies. The third strategy, which is something that majority of companies do, even if they don't know they do it, they actually doing it, is called market penetration. What is market penetration? Market penetration is we don't change what we do. We keep doing what we have been doing for the last 20 years.
You have the old product in the old market.
In the old market, we don't want to go anywhere because and we just try to promote and promote more and more and more of what we do. So people that didn't know about us, they buy from us, but the growth is marginal. I hate, no, that's not the right word. I don't like managers that think that way, because it's such a safe position about the market. You know, it's you being lazy, and it's you being so afraid of risk. And it's horrible how people is so afraid of risk anyway, nowadays. So that is the third strategy of market development. What is the most risky strategy of all of them? Diversification, yeah? So what is how the variables play in diversification, guys?
Everything is new, like the new products and new market.
And what will be the return on investment?
Is a big return on
that's when you become a global player. That's when you become a company that people want to invest in.
Thank you.
So another example of a task that we can do, please, to achieve a 15% growth, a 5% growth by December 15. Richard, give me one.
A competition.
A competition, something ludic, something, an event, and a competition. Wow.
Buy one, get one free.
Giving something for free, a bonus. Buy one, day two. It works. Like I was telling you about this website, masterclass.com, which is truly extraordinary. I'm telling you, when I bought this 3 years ago for my kids, happens to be that there was a promotion. If you buy one masterclass package, you can give another masterclass package to a friend or family member. Bought it, and I sent that login for my mother. You know, and sales increase. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is the summatory of this task, the events, the promotion that Richard was talking about, the advertising that Alejandra was talking about, all of these individual tasks, they will allow your company to achieve the objective of growing by 5% by 15 December. When you achieve all the objectives together, you are going to achieve that vision, whatever it is. And when you achieve the vision, great, the business plan has ended. That is the end of the business plan, which is something, guys, with all respect, that not many people understand. Business plans, they have an end. What is the end of the business plan? When you achieve the vision with V. At that moment, when you achieve the vision with V, what is that you need to do as a business owner or manager? Tell me, once you achieve.
Create a new vision.
Create a new vision, thank you. That's it, that's it. It really gets me excited, because this is how companies grow. You know, like, this is what I do at consultancy level. I tell people, all right, let's achieve that vision. And until we get to that point, we cannot think about any other business plan. Once we achieve that vision, new business plan, and then we achieve the vision, and then the new business plan, and that is how companies grow. That's why planning is important from a business perspective, but it's always in terms of how we achieve the vision. But you need to have super clear what is vision, now you know. What is a strategy, now you know. What is objectives, now you know that they are a result of you doing the SWOT analysis, and now you know that the objectives are executed by having individual, practical, real life activities and tasks, like doing advertising or doing an event, yeah? But I am pretty sure that you have heard people saying, oh, our strategy is doing advertising. No, that's not a strategy, that is a task. Oh, our strategy is doing social media. No, that is not a strategy, that is a task, right? So it's getting all these concepts clear. So fantastic, guys. I reckon we have achieved something now. Let's go for a short break. It's 10:30. So short one, 10 minutes. And then at 10:40 sharp, we came back and we continue with the second element of competency of this unit, which is not about the systems, but about implementing them. All right, talk to you soon, 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Thank you. Let's have a look at this short video, please.
Hired to lead and manage. Hi, this is Matt. I'm one of your digital tutors at Lonsdale Institute and SOD, the School of Digital. Hi, this is Matt. I'm one of your digital tutors at Lonsdale Institute and SOD, the School of Digital. This is an overview video of our continuous improvement class. This class will offer you the skills required to lead and manage continuous improvement systems related to your project. Particular emphasis is on the development of systems and the analysis of information to monitor and adjust performance. This class has been designed to train project managers who take an active role in managing a continuous improvement process in order to achieve an organization's objective. In this class, you will learn how to establish improvement processes, how to adjust key performance indicators, and finally, how to manage opportunities for business improvement. See you in class. Bye.
All right, so just a short video for us to get it back to the basics. The reason we're here today is to find out the systems that we can apply to have constant improvement first. Then we want to analyze how those companies are implementing constant improvement. If they are doing it, how adjusted according to the current moment. So this is all about currency. I'm going to explain that a little bit better in a second. If you adjust those processes, it's more likely that you are going to achieve the company's objectives. So that is the connection, guys. Systems, analysis, adjustment and monitoring, and then achieving the objectives. Systems have been disclosed now. So we have talked about TQM, we have talked about Six Sigma, we have talked about Kaizen, we have talked about international standard organization practices. All right, now we are going to talk about the second component, which is the analysis. All right, and this is all done in terms of people working in the organization. This starts from a very humanistic perspective, which is telling us people that is working in the company, they are good at what they do. As a result of it, we should allow an environment, we should provide an environment for they to try new things. When we give them the opportunity to try new things, they will take advantage of that opportunity to facilitate the work they do. So that is the point. It's about understanding that people like you and me, we want to work less. We want to work in a more efficient way. We want to take advantage of the time that we have. That is the perspective here. So, how this is done? From people through people. What you need to create is an environment for people to try new things in a safe environment. So you need to have policies and procedures in the company that facilitate continuous improvement. Have a look how connected this is with what we discussed at last class in terms of innovation. When we were talking about innovation last class, we were talking about how important it is to provide a safe environment for people to innovate. How important it is to provide a safe environment for people to raise their hands in the company and say, you know what? I reckon there is a better way to do things. So just give me 1 second because I want to share a second video that is touching on that component. Just 1 second, please. All right, let's have a look at this short video.
Hi, my name is Monica. This short video is a short intro about your incoming class with SOD, the School of Digital, and Lonsdale Institute. Facilitate continuous improvement. This unit follows all the parameters and elements of competency published by the National Regulator for Australia's vocational education and training sector. Enjoy. In most companies, if you're a new employee and you ask your manager, why is it done this way? The usual answer is because that's the way we do it. Or
which is what Manuel was telling us before. Yeah?
if you're a new employee and you ask your manager, why is it done this way? The usual answer is because that's the way we do it, or what is worst, because that's the way it's always been done. At SOD, we believe the largest contribution to constant improvement is to approach these traditional ways of doing things and ask ourselves if there is currency behind how we do them.
And ask ourselves if there is a currency in terms of why we do things that way. So I just want you guys to realize that it's not about finding new ways to do things. It's not about finding new ways. It's about understanding if for that particular moment, what you do makes sense, is current. That is the mindset here. It's not about how can we do things better. No, it's about is what we are doing current with the technology that we have? Is what we are doing current in terms of the momentum of our company and how our company is competing in the marketplace? Is what we are doing current in terms of our customers and what they expect from us to deliver? That is the question. It's not about how can we do things better, for God's sake. That is not what I want you guys to take. What I want you guys to understand is how what we are doing now is current or not. That's what I was telling you before when we start the class about e-commerce, for example. A company that is not doing e-commerce, the analysis shouldn't be how can we sell better? No, the analysis should be the way we sell is current in terms of how people is buying, yes or no. So it's about currency. That's why I told you before here that it's important to understand currency. That is the engine that powers constant improvement, currency. Because something that is pretty good could work, you know, for a company a year ago, but may not work for a company right now because the market is not expecting that.
In this class, you will learn how to question what we do. That single shift is everything, because in that shift, there is a tremendous optimistic point of view about our people.
So it's about questioning what we do. And that mindset is telling us if we question what we do and we allow people to question and to raise their hand in terms of what we do, is because we believe in that group of people that is working in the company. That's what I was telling you. Constant improvement is a very humanistic perspective about how to manage a business growth.
This humanistic mindset will certainly question the status quo, paving the way for constant improvement in your organization or project.
So questioning the status quo. The status quo is the traditional way, is the standard, is what is being written. Should we question what is being written in terms of business models? Yes, because that is why we're learning constant improvement.
We see that optimistic humanism as the backbone of constant improvement. I will see you in class.
So that humanistic perspective is the backbone of what we are learning now. I'm going to show you the last video. Just give me 1 second. And then we continue with the second element. So for me, this is the best video about constant improvement, the best. If you understand this video, believe me, everything will be clear to you for the next class, for the practical class. So please pay attention to this video because for me, it's critical. It just put all the elements together.
Doesn't matter. Stephen P. Jobs, it's fine. Steve Jobs is fine. In most companies, if you're new and you ask, why is it done this way? The answer is because that's the way we do it here, or because that's the way it's always been done. And in my opinion, the largest contribution of much of this quality thinking is to approach these ways of doing things, these processes, scientifically, where there is a theory behind why we do them. There is a description of what we do, and most importantly, there is an opportunity to always question what we do. And this is a radically different approach to business processes than the traditional one, because
the traditional one does not allow you to question what you do. In the traditional one, you have hierarchies telling you, you project manager, you employee, you team member, you don't question what you do. You don't question what we do, sorry. You follow instructions because we know better. We know more than you. We, the company, we know more than you. I, your boss, your manager, your supervisor, I know more than you. So you don't question it. You follow it. That is the traditional approach. The new approach, the approach about innovation, the approach about constant improvement is you in this company, you are open to question everything, and please do, please challenge yourself, please challenge ourselves. So we question things that we do with the objective to make things more efficiently.
It's always done this way. And that single shift is everything, in my opinion, because in that shift is a tremendous optimistic point of view about the people that work in a company. It's
a very optimistic perspective about the people that work in our company. I cannot explain this in better terms. If you are not okay with the mindset, people that work in our company and they are specialists in what they do, they know better than us, the company, then there is no point about constant improvement. Constant improvement doesn't start with us, company owners, doesn't start with us, the founders. Constant improvement starts with those individuals at operational level that are actually executing the task, our salespeople, our operational people. This is the people that are on the field, working with our customers, facing the problems of our market. They are the ones that can tell us, hey, you know what? We should change this process in this company. And after this class, I just hope that you are open to those advices, to those perspectives.
Because these people are very smart. They're not pawns. They're very smart. And if given the opportunity to change and improve, they will. They will improve the processes if there's a mechanism for it.
If you give the opportunity for them to change the process, they will do it. But why they will do it, and this is what I want you guys to understand, they will do it because their work will be easier. because the work will be more efficient, because instead of spending 2 or 3 hours doing something, they will spend 1 hour. And they want that. It's our nature. We don't want things to be complicated and cumbersome. We don't want that. We humans, we prefer simple things. So instead of having 40 steps, how good it will be if that work instruction has 20 steps. How good it would be if that work instruction has 10 steps. A work instruction, by the way, is a simple document, it's a corporate document, it's an asset, it's a business asset in project management that will map out the steps that you need to do in order to execute a process. In some companies, that one instruction may have 80 processes. I'm going to give you an example. When I work with, forgot the name, give me 1 second, CRMs. When I work with CRMs, guys, anybody? CRMs? What is a CRM?
Customer relationship management?
Yes. So the reason we use CRMs in companies is because we want to have information about how people is interacting with our company. They go to our website, so we record that interaction, or they call us, so we record that interaction, or they write to us by email, so we record that interaction, or they go to our shop and we ask them for the loyalty card, so we record that interaction. So when you want to work with a CRM, you need to follow a set of instructions for you to be able to report on those interactions to someone that will be making decisions in the company. If you need to follow 80 steps, which is what I was doing for a company a few years ago, to get this information, you know what people say? Too difficult. And they place that in the too difficult basket, which means they don't do it. And that's why a lot of companies don't have a CRM, because they just say, you know what? This is just too difficult. Too many steps for us to have this information about how our customers interact with our properties, with our digital properties, with our interactions in terms of our business. So we just put it in the too difficult task. Why? Because it's 80 steps. What you need to do as a project manager is to analyze those 80 steps, and you need to convert those 80 steps to 50 steps, to 30 steps, to 20 steps, to 5 steps. And it's in this optimization, keyword here in this class, optimization. It's in this optimization where business growth lies. It's not about making things more complicated. It's about simplifying things. I'm going to give you a recent example that happens with a company here in Australia, Telstra. You know what Telstra is, the large telecommunication company. That company was struggling in 2020, struggling because the competition was crazy. Optus and Vodafone and iiNet and many others were competing for the same market share. And Telstra was offering back in 2020 about 30 products to the market, 30 products to the market. Too difficult to manage, too many processes, too many steps, too much analysis for them to manage 30 products. You know what they did? They moved from 30 products to about 5 products for corporations and businesses and for people like you and I. And that changed the entire company. They made the company more appealing to customers because the product offering was simplified. And that's why for me, it's super critical that you understand this. When you offer 100 products to the market, you become a retailer. When you become a retailer, managing those interactions will be extremely difficult. You need to have a large group of people, a lot of people in the team to manage all those interactions. So Constant improvement is about minimizing those interactions so they become more effective. It's about, if we have 30 products, why? Why we have 30 products? Let's analyze the margin, because probably it will be better to have not 30, but 5 products. One of the things I say to people when I do consultancy is analyze the products that you have, select those that give you margin or competitive advantage, and place them in the very front of your website with a link for people to buy them. That is a fantastic way to improve the business method. What I say to people when it comes to constant improvement is select those products, place them in the website, give people straight away the price tag. What is the cost that they need to incur in order to acquire that product or service straight away? That will facilitate the process. Companies that don't do this, instead of these 3 processes that I told you, look the processes that I told you. Select products that you really want to sell because they give you margin or they give you competitive advantage. It's very important to understand that sometimes you need to have products that that don't give you margin, but if they give you competitive advantage, you still need to select them as critical. All right, so that is step number 1. Step number 2, give the bloody price straight away in the website. Step number 3, create a connection for people to buy that product and for people to provide feedback and to contact you. That is all, guys. How simple. Take advantage of this in order to reevaluate your business model. Remember that we were talking about the business model. Super simple. Selection of products that give you competitive advantage or margin, number 1. Give the price straight away in the website of what people will need to invest if they want to buy from you. And step number 3, open a window for people to be able to contact you. Guys, if you can do these 3 things, I am promising you, your sales will go up. The company will grow. This is what I teach, but not just that. This is what I apply. I'm going to give you a very simple example of this. So just give me 1 second. All right. This is my company website. Instead of 20 products, instead of 20 pages about us, home, reviews, products, partners, which is something that is very normal. You know, a lot of companies, you go to companies' websites and you will find 7 pages here. And below those pages, even drop-down menus. Have you seen that? Have you seen these websites where you go and you have here a page and then below that page like 3 or 4 more sub-pages? Wrong. No good.
Sorry, what do you mean?
What I mean is that we need to believe in synthesis. We need to believe in synthesis. That's why, for example, when I ask you questions, when I do the observations, or when you do the assessments, I am not analyzing your skills and competencies in terms of how much you can write, in terms of long paragraphs. I hate that. I seriously do. That is something that I really don't like. When a person, and a student, is trying to hide himself, herself in a long paragraph, just to show up that they have done some work. Wrong, I don't like it. I prefer the student that writes 2-3 lines, very simple, down to earth, straight to the point in terms of the question being asked. That is the good student. The good business person is that one that instead of hiding the company in 30 products, they actually go to the painful process of selecting those 5 products or so that have A, best margin, B, competitive advantage. That is a difficult situation. It's not easy, but it will give business growth because it will facilitate how people interact with what you sell. And that's why in my company, and when I consult with companies, when I provide consultancy, one of the first things I tell people is reduce that website, make it simple. Don't talk about us. Don't talk about 20 things at the same time. It's not a repository of information. So in my website, I have 3 products: skills, short skills, courses, and qualification, which is the one that you're doing now. Simple, no sub buttons. Then, of course, call to actions. This is done so I can have a connection with Google. So when someone is looking for business skills, that's why I have the word business skills here. People can find my website. And when it comes to the products, have a look. What I'm telling you, I have the 3 products that I showed you before. But look where the price is. The price is there straight away in the homepage. Whereas some companies, and you know this, for you to find out the price, you need to navigate 3 or 4 pages down the road. Or what is worse, the company will tell you, contact us for us to provide you a quotation. Wrong. If you don't have a business system that allows you to provide a price from the very first moment, that business methodology, that business model is not working in terms of what is being done today. That's why I was talking to you about currency. So the price is there straight away. People check in those products as a result of that big product category, and they see the price one more time. And if they want to buy that, the only thing that they need to do is, all right, they click on the product and they go and they add it to the cart so they can pay it. And if they have any question about it, they can contact the company straight away with a facility for people to chat, to talk to you straight away. No emails, please. I'm talking about technologies like chatbots. This is how I sell these products. All right, and it works. And I am inviting you to start thinking about how you can have a website that really represents what you have learned in this constant improvement class.
School of Digital, if all it's for all the schools or just for Lonsdale at the moment?
I only have one partner, which is Lonsdale, because I am a small company. And I am telling you something, guys. I feel like in this situation in which we are, which is difficult because of coronavirus and the market is changing, I reckon it's better to have a small company than a medium-sized one. I just want you to understand that, because a lot of times people think that we all should just be bigger and grow and become bigger as a company and to have more people and to have. Right now is not a really good advice, because companies that are medium size, at the medium level, they are highly affected by this current situation in the economics. Have a look at it. The companies that are suffering right now, the companies that are being closed right now, are not the small companies. The companies that are being closed right now are the medium-sized companies. The company that has a building office, the company that has 300 or 100 employees, the company that has a lot of operations and connections and markets. That is the company that is suffering because it's not sustainable in this current situation. Whereas the small company like mine, we are flexible, we are fast, we are nimble, we can change things like this in real time. That's what you need to understand. It's not about being big for the sake of being big. Now, if you have a large corporation, a big business, like a large one, that is a really good place to be as well. And these large businesses, they are doing really, really good in coronavirus times, really good. I am telling you this, guys. In the pandemic, small companies, they are doing really well because they are flexible, they change, they adapt. Large companies, the ones that have a big proportion of the market, they do really well. And you know why? Because they buy the companies that are dying, the medium companies. Yeah, Manuel, you know that. You know that because you have seen what has been happening with a lot of medium-sized schools and the opportunity that there is for large companies like you to actually acquire those medium-sized businesses because they don't have space in this competitive market now. It's not good to be medium. In this market situation, it's good to be huge, big, super important, so you are visible, or to be so small, like I am, so you are not visible to the large competitors and you select how you want to play the game. So School of Digital believes in that theory, and that's what I'm doing. And that's what I want you guys to believe as well. If you want to start a new business, if you want to develop a new project, think about how that project could be number one, and you be the guy that is hitting the market hard, or how to be the small company that is after a niche of the market. After a niche of the market. All right. I'm going to show you something in the whiteboard just to finalize with this concept. Just give me 1 second. Let's imagine that this circle is the market. Yeah, guys, anyone, please, can anyone define what a market is? Please, because I need you guys to understand what is the concept of a market. What is a market? But don't tell me, please, oh, market is the place where people buy and sell. No. Don't tell me that, because that is what you learn when you were reading the business management program or the business management book. No, that's not what a market is nowadays. It's not a shopping center. It's not on a street where people buy and sell. That was the market before this new market was opened, which is the internet, all right? But I'm not talking in terms of the internet as a market though. What is a market nowadays? A market nowadays, guys, believe me, please, in this one, is a country. A country. That is what a market is, a country. That's why we talk in terms of the Australian market, or that's why we talk in terms of the Japanese market, or that's why we talk in terms of the Latin American market, or that's why we talk in terms that they are, and the reason we connect markets with countries is because there is something that is unique to a country. What is that is unique to a country in terms of business, of course? What is that is so unique to a country? Tell me, please.
Economy.
The economy, specifically what element in the economy is specific to a country, unless you have a union, like the European Union, of course. But the European Union itself is like a big country. So what is that thing that is unique to a market, guys?
The currency.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Patricio. That is what it is. That is what it is. So we need to understand currency exchange. By the way, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Everyone is crazy about cryptocurrency, yes? Have you noticed that? Fantastic, I love it. But I started back when I was in Adelaide, living in Adelaide, with something that is called Forex. You know what Forex is, anyone? What this stands for? Foreign exchange. That was the first trading platform. You know, like people is looking at these trading platforms. for crypto, and they say, oh, this is new. This is not new. The same platforms, the same methodologies where you said when people were still trading with Forex. All right, so this is what the market is, all right, a country. And why? Because we need to analyze what we do in terms of the currency. If I want to sell to the USA as a market, I need to understand that the Australian dollar will buy 0.75 of the American dollar. But if I want to sell to Colombia, I need to understand that $1 will represent about 2,000 times what that dollar represents here in this country. How difficult it will be from someone in Colombia to buy something that is being produced in Australia. So it's all about the currency, all right? So now that we understand that the market is a country, in that market, which is the country, you have big companies participating in that market, yeah? And then you have medium-sized companies participating in that market. But then this is where the magic happens. Between those companies, the big ones, the large multinationals, the large corporations, and the medium ones, you have these little spaces. And you know who are they? Who are they? The small companies. This is what is going to happen. And you will remember this. These big companies, are they growing or they're dying? These big corporations, are they doing better in COVID times or they are dying? The big ones, the leaders.
They will buy all the other small ones.
Exactly, not the small ones. The
medium ones.
The medium ones, because the small ones are not interested to them. Do you think, I was telling you, my company is a small one. Do you think that a large educational company like Monash or Melbourne Uni, do you think that they want to buy a School of Digital? No, they don't even know what the School of Digital is. They don't know, they don't have a clue. But they know what Lonsdale is. They know. You know, last week, we had the Director of Innovation from La Trobe University, Dr. Seracela. Everybody, I strongly believe that everybody knows here what La Trobe University is. Because it's a large university, it's a large player. Seracela, she knew what Lonsdale is. Because Lonsdale is a medium company compared to these big educational companies. Lonsdale being still really, really big in terms of medium size. Because Lonsdale may have how many students, Manuel? 1,000 something you should have, yeah?
At the moment, 1,200.
Imagine that. But a large university, they have 4,000, 3,000 students. It's a different operational model. All right, so these large companies, what they want to do to grow in this market, they acquire the medium-sized ones. So the medium-sized ones, this company buy these two, and this company become this big. And they continue with that trend. And that is what is happening with companies like Amazon. I need you to understand this. Those companies like Amazon, like Apple, like Samsung, like Microsoft, like Telstra, like Tesla, like Toyota, those companies are not going to disappear. Quite the opposite. Those companies will be really, really, really big. To the point that is very, very likely that in the near future, in about 10 years, the large companies will continue growing to the point that they are going to end buying even other large companies. And that's when you have this situation in which you have a large company owning that sector.
Like Disney, right?
Like Disney. Disney owns everything. Disney owns Pixar, sorry. These conglomerates, they are like that. And this is the future. There is no future for the medium-sized companies unless they become highly specialized. What is left? The space for the little ones. And the little ones are not attractive to the big ones. And that's why the little ones in this new economy are in a really good position. And that's why I don't need to grow for the sake of growing. I just want you to think about it. Instead of growing, think about a niche if you are small. If you are medium, try to find a competitive advantage or allow the company to be acquired by a large one and make a lot of profit in doing so. But this is a situation from which we definitely cannot escape. I may be wrong, but I really, really doubt it. I have done a lot of research in this particular area in terms of how the market will be behaving in the next few years. Okay, so let's continue with the next element. So the first element was the system. The third element was analyzing how we have people in the company that believes in constant improvement, that believes in innovation, how we motivate them, how we create an environment for them to be successful, all right? We analyze that situation. And then we need to implement constant improvement for us to be able to monitor that constant improvement, all right? So coming back to the steps, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Step number 1. Who remembers? The systems.
Yep.
Analyze.
Analyze the people.
Yeah. Adjust.
Adjust what we have done in terms of constant improvement.
And objectives.
And as a result of that, we are going to achieve the company's objectives, which in reality is the company's vision. Because all the objectives together, they will get you to achieve the company's vision, as we discussed before. All right, so we have done number 1. Kaizen, TQM, Six Sigma, which is constant improvement. The only thing that I failed actually to explain to you in that number 1 is there is something that is called the alternative to constant improvement. Because probably Sarah may tell me, or Manuel may, Santi, bullshit. I don't want to do constant improvement. Yeah. So if you don't want to do constant improvement, then you have another option. What is the other option if you don't want to do constant improvement, guys? What is the alternative?
Market penetration.
That is a strategy.
Oh, right.
No. If we don't do constant improvement, guys, have a look at the whiteboard, please. So constant improvement works in 2 axes. In this axle, you have time. Sorry, in this variable is time. The other variable will be, what do you think? If this is time, what will be the other variable?
Cost, money.
No,
No.
growth. So how constant improvement works, please? Let's say that this is the moment number 1, this is the moment number 2, moment number 3, moment number 4. Let's call it year number 1, year number 2, year number 3, year number 4. Now, we have said that we are not planning in terms of years. So let's call it month number 1, month number 2, month number 3, month number 4. So if in the month number 1 you hear, guys, where you will be in the month number 2?
Higher.
How higher? Here or here?
Maybe 2 times higher, or
It's constant, it's marginal, it's done carefully. It's a planned process. So we achieve this growth in the moment number 2. If we follow those processes that we have planned in constant improvement, what will be the growth in the moment number 3? Here, here, or here? Just here, isn't it?
Yes.
And so on. Guys, this is how it looks, constant improvement in a company when you do this analysis from a graphical perspective. This line is constant improvement, which means tomorrow I am a little bit better than yesterday. And the day after, I am a little bit better, and so on. Banks love it. Investors love it because it's very manageable. And that's what we're learning now. This is constant improvement from a graphical perspective, growth and time. But Manuel or Sarah or Lance or Diego may say, Santi, but this is bullshit. I don't like it. And I will say, fair enough. Fair enough, if you don't like it. If you don't like it, what is the alternative then to constant improvement? It's called what? Anyone? A clue? For those who study administration? So this is constant improvement. This is constant improvement. Which is growing little in terms of time. But you don't like this because you want to be in this moment number 2. This is moment number 1. You say, Santi, why to be here? I want to be moment number 2, straight up here. So the graphic is not like this. The graphic is like that. This is not constant. There is nothing constant about it. What is the name of this methodology, which is the alternative that you have to constant improvement? It's called what? No one knows. Re-engineering. And re-engineering means
like change the processes, like make them different so you can learn a better way.
Oh, Alex, so sorry. Repeat it.
Like make process different so they are better and everyone knows like a better and efficiently way to do it.
So if you make a new process, what you need to do with the old one?
Forget it.
You destroy it. You kill it. You kill it. There is no improvement. You know what I mean, Ale? You don't improve the process. You just get rid of it. Imagine that you are doing imagine that your business has a website. If your business has a website and the project is about improving that website using constant improvement methodologies, are you going to work in the website that you already have and you are going to make it better? Or you are going, if you are following constant improvement methodologies, yeah? Are you going to work in terms of the website as it is, and you're going to make it better as you advance? That is constant improvement. But if you want to do re-engineering, what will you do with that website?
Don't use it anymore.
Don't use it anymore. You kill it. Yeah. So Sarah, imagine that you want to do this for your website. Yeah. You may, Sarah, do you mind actually, do you mind to share your screen with your website? I guess you have one.
No, because I'm doing a different one at the moment, so it's not published yet.
All right. All right. Anybody here has a website? All right. Important. I'm telling you. Manuel has a website. Manuel, you have a website. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. Manu, could you please share your website in the screen? Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you something. You please share the website in the screen.
So my website from Lonsdale or
Yes.
the...
Yes, please,
Yeah,
please.
1 second.
So the reason I'm telling you this is you should have a website because you have an email address, yeah? Everybody should have a website, even if it's a personal one. It's something that is very simple to achieve nowadays. I'm going to show you later. All right, so we're going to have, all right. So let's analyze this website quickly. Then we have about, we have courses, we have bespoke, we have a student life, we have frequent asked questions, we have locations, we have blog, we have apply now. How many pages we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Manu, what happens if you hover over one of those pages? Do you have submit? Look at that.
It's a lot of information.
It's not good. We don't
No.
respect. We don't respect. All right. So it's not good. So the project may be, all right, how can we improve this website? Manu, thank you. Thank you for sharing. That is all. So
That's why it's always easy to call Manu directly. It's the fast way.
Yes, it is. 24 hours. Thank you, Sarah.
oh, Sarah, you're good. So imagine that Manuel has a project about the website. He wants to improve the website. So one alternative to run this project is use constant improvement system methodologies. That means that Manuel will be making that website better every month a little bit. But Manuel will be working on that website that we just saw with the agency that he was working before. That is constant improvement. That website in 5 months, 6 months will be much better than it is today, following this pattern. But Manuel goes and say, no, I don't want to do this. I want to have this website killing, selling as crazy next month. Constant improvement doesn't work. What Manuel needs to do, re-engineering. What re-engineering means, he is going to kill that website. And instead of fixing what is broken, he will start from scratch with a new one. I just want you guys to understand that that is the alternative to constant improvement. Some business owners, they prefer re-engineering that constant improvement is quite old. I want you guys to understand that this is a very old theory, which works for a lot of companies, okay. But when you are in agile environments, sometimes it's more appropriate to do re-engineering, which is destroying what already exists and start from scratch. So I just needed to explain this to you because that is the alternative to constant improvement. And I love it, to be honest. You know, like if I love it. I reckon that when you start from scratch, everything is fresh. You have a new mind. You don't have attachments to previous concepts. You just go fresh from day one. Whereas if you try to improve what is broken, sometimes it's more difficult and more expensive, believe it or not. All right, so systems, analyze, adjust. In this adjustment stage, then we need to find out what are our KPIs and metrics. So what is a KPI, Diego? What is a KPI?
I don't know.
Watch it. We have discussed it before. Diego, you are a good student. I have been looking at your videos and I appreciate the participation last class. You were one of my best students last class, by the way. Amazing. But you are a diploma student, all right? Same for everybody here. And a KPI is something that you should know now. Be careful with it. I have explained this concept before. And regardless, if you do a diploma, it is understood that you have done previous educations before, like for example, a certificate for. so you know what a KPI is. So, okay, but hopefully it's the last time that you fail with this question, Diego. What a KPI is, Emmanuel? Sorry for the
Key
pressure.
performance indicators.
Hey, Diego, key performance indicator. It's a metric. And that is it. I mean, if you are in the business world, you need to manage KPIs, because KPIs will allow you to compare current performance with expected performance. So if the KPI is out of every 10 calls, we make 3 sales, because that could be the KPI. I call 10 customers, and our KPI is out of 10 calls, we close 3 sales. That is the KPI. So as we advance with constant improvement, what will be, if we are doing things better, how that KPI will change if we apply constant improvement. So the KPI today is out of 10 calls, we make 3 sales. If we improve that KPI, how that KPI will read tomorrow? Manu.
So you mean if we do 10 calls, we got 3 sales today?
That is the KPI that we have today written in our business plan. Yes.
Okay. So
if we
tomorrow,
want to improve, yeah.
Yeah, we need to start with 3 minimum. 3 minimum sales.
And that
we want to continue improving.
But the KPI, in that scenario, the KPI is still 3. If we do constant improvement, it's because we are making our sales more efficient, our communication more efficient, and so on. So we need to adjust that KPI. That's why this is called adjusting. So if we adjust that KPI, instead of reading in the business plan or the project management plan 3 sales per 10 calls, what that KPI will be reading after you adjust it? What it will be?
Probably just 4, because it's constant improvement.
Exactly, Sarah. It's not going to be 5, it's not going to be 7, it's not going to be 10. So the next period, which could be next month, the KPI as a result of our optimization and better business processes will read, we do 4 sales out of 10. And then the next period, the next quarter, the next month, whatever is the next period, what the KPI will be reading, Sarah?
5.
And that's why,
7.
yes, and that's why it's constant improvement. Until you reach 10. So it will take you good 10 periods, or 7 periods in this case, because you started with 3, to get to that maximum level. Whereas what is the alternative to constant improvement, Sarah? If you don't want to wait 7 periods to achieve 10 sales out of 10 calls, which is something very difficult anyway, but just theoretically, if you don't want to wait 7 months for you to get there, what you can do?
Re-engineering.
Thank you. Thank you. You have learned. You have learned. That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. All right. And thank you, Sarah. And then we finalize with the point number 4, which is the vision or the objectives. At that moment is when we say, because of everything that we have done in number 1, number 2, number 3, we can tell our investors, our partners, hey, look, we done it. We grew. We are doing better. And at this particular moment, when you achieve that vision, everything stops. Everything has to be recorded. Yes. In the project management plan, yes. Or in the business planning, if this is macro, yes. But at this moment, this ends. This is the end. And then you start again. Number 1. It's a cycle perspective about how to manage a business or a project. Guys, that's it. If you remember that graphic that I showed you, If you remember what is the antithesis of constant improvement, which is reengineering. If you remember how we achieve visions through objectives, through task first. If you remember that it's not because we want to grow dramatically, it's because we want to manage growth, because it's not about growing without control. You want to manage that growth. You want to control that growth. All right, then you have learned constant improvement. Please add this skill to your LinkedIn. Add it. So if you have LinkedIn, go to the skills areas and add constant improvement. Hopefully, after every class that we do, you add that skill to your LinkedIn. Because that's what you're paying for, to get these skills, aren't you? Guys, I will see you next class. Next class, we're going to have an expert to talk, just like we had Seracela. We're going to have an expert next class. We're going to have access to Accelerate for us to actually be able to read and consume what we have discussed. And you will have access to the assessment, which is something that we are going to do next class. Last class was an exemption to the rule because I wanted to do the assessment as a result of what Seracela was telling us. That's it, guys. 20 minutes before the class, but I reckon we have achieved the objective of this class. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Sorry, Santi, but I just saw on Accelerate that we have the assessment, like establish innovative work environments.
Yes, yes.
We have to do it during the week or next week?
You have to do it now because now we are in a new unit. All right. But that assessment, who has done it? Who has done it so far? Easy.
I started only.
Easy one. Easy assessment. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you something. There is few questions in the assessment when you need to do drag and drop. Did you notice that, Ale? Those questions are a little bit difficult, but there is no right or wrong answer. So don't get nervous. You know what I mean? It's just how you see innovation. And for someone, innovation could be done following an order, and for someone else could be a different order. But just because you try to do the analysis, that demonstrate that you have the skills and knowledge required to run innovation in the workplace. So it's a simple assessment. It has few tricky questions that are drag and drop, but don't worry. It's not about having the right order. There is not a right order. It's just about you doing the exercise, the thinking exercise, how this should be from my perspective. That's all. Simple assessment. I reckon it has 13 questions. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So go and do it. You will kill it in 20 minutes, that assessment. If you need help, you may want to rewatch the classes, because as I explained before, the questions are the result of that last practical class with Seracela. So all good, guys. If you need any help with the assessments, if you are behind for any chance, you need to talk to me or you need to talk to Manuel just to find out what we need to do. We are very, very flexible in this approach to learning. We understand that people is busy. We understand that you may be in holidays like Alejandra was the other week. We understand that you may be demotivated or you may be, I don't know, whatever is the case, just let me know and we manage. Thank you for those that attend to the class, and just be prepared for our next class in terms of having this positive attitude as you had for our previous class with when it comes to when it was about innovation. That is all. So I read, yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah, go.
You were talking about before that your market is a country, right?
Yep.
And it all depends about the currency and how it varies from one country to another.
Sure.
So when like El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as their currency, and I think in the future all the countries will do, how do you think it's gonna be in the future for like companies? They're just gonna be like a few managing the whole world, because they're not gonna have this market difference. They're all gonna be in the same currency.
Yes, and that is the dystopia of all of this. Yes, the dystopia is a future that may not look very positive. you know, because it's totally different to what we believe is positive. So what we believe is positive today, 2021, is we don't want monopolies. We don't want oligopolies. Yeah, we want the market to be divided by many different companies so they compete. And in doing so, we get better products and services. But I'm going to tell you guys, that is not going to happen in the future. You need to be prepared for it. You need to be prepared for it. In the future, we are going to have not 10 corporations producing cars. We're not going to have Toyota, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Renault, Peugeot, Tesla, Hyundai, Kia. That's not going to be, the future is not going to be like that. We're going to have 2, just to say anything. We're going to have Kia Motors, and we're going to have Toyota. Or we're going to have Kia Motors, and we're going to have an association between Tesla and GM and General Motors. And all the other companies, Mitsubishi, Peugeot, they will be acquired. That is how the future looks like, because those are the current dynamics in which we are going to have a huge gap, between wealthy, rich companies, wealthy, rich people, poor people that don't move cash, small companies that move cash only for a niche, which is basically connected with these people that I was describing before. The medium market, the middle earth, gone. But this is Santi, Vela telling you, right? This is something that I believe. I believe the medium market is going to disappear. I believe average people, the average, because this is the average, you know this, they are going to have a really difficult time. Really difficult time. You are going to have people here surviving because government is helping them with allowances, with food stamps, with social programs. And you are going to have very wealthy people. So if you think the division that we have today in society is big, you haven't seen anything. With crypto, I don't know if you have seen the growth of this Shiba coin. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. I get excited, man. I am working with NFTs now. Yesterday, 4 a.m., working NFTs all the time, no stop. I want to take advantage of that shit, I'm telling you. That is unbelievable. And that is going to give us the opportunity for people like you and I, normal people, unless you are a millionaire. But I don't think anyone here is a millionaire, to be honest. With all respect, yeah? Because probably you will not be here in this class. Yeah, you will be in Oxford, or you will be, yeah, with all respect. But for normal people like you and I, what is happening is a tremendous opportunity for us to be there. And if we don't do anything, if we just wait, if we just believe in the bank interest rates, if we just believe in the traditional methods to make money, to work for a company 24/7, 8 hours per day, 365 days per week, that is going to kill us. That is going to send us down here. Don't regret it, because you've been informed. It's a competitive time. The world is very tough right now, and I am very anxious about it. Very anxious. I am kind of suffering, just observing what is going on, and the social disruption that is going to happen. The economy will slow down in the next few years. Believe me, what is happening with COVID, it has a consequence, and that consequence will be visible in the next couple of years. I'm going to tell you just something. In Victoria, the state of Victoria where I live, this month had the highest unemployment rate in history. In history. You know what I mean? This month in Victoria, unemployment levels like never before.
How much, Santi? How much?
It's around 7%. Mm-hmm. And that is very high, because in Victoria it used to be 4-5%. And now it's touching 7-8%. And that is very, very negative for an economy like this one. In South America, in some countries in Europe, you have an employment rate of 8%, 9%, and everybody's like, oh, that's okay. No, but in Australia, property prices are going to start slowing down. You know, there is a bubble in the property market, but that bubble is about to explode because it has been 2 years with no international students coming to this country, 2 years. And in Australia, that industry was critical because international students, they were paying schools, but they also were paying rent. And they were also paying services, and they were also going and doing tourism. And that is a very important sector in this economy. And that is being affected, and we're going to have that impact in the next couple of years. The economy is going to slow down, guys. Not in all sectors though, but in majority of them. So you need to prepare to change your business model now. And that's why these classes are critical, guys, because if you don't do anything about what you're learning, if you don't add this to your LinkedIn profile, if you don't start writing posts about what you're learning so people know that you are ahead of the game, nobody will know. Self-promotion is a critical component of what we do nowadays. Believe on it, because the market is going to be crazy competitive, and only people that is highly prepared in digital technology, in project management, in social skills above everything else, emotional intelligence and so on, will be able to play this game. People that is afraid of risk, that is paying insurance for everything, that is so afraid of investing, that is so afraid of developing a new business, that's people that will be suffering dramatically in the next few years, because this aversion of risk is a generational problem that we have, especially with Generation X and Generation Y. Generation Y, the millennials, very, very, very afraid of taking risks. Fair enough, it hasn't been easy for them, you know, but gotta be the time for us to say, you know what, if I have $1,000, what am I going to do with them? If I have a property, how can I renegotiate my loan with my bank? So I get some leverage and I invest in something else. This is the time for players, for people that is active. It's not a good time for people that just wait in the sideline. Really, really bad. But you know, it's not a negative environment for people like you, because you guys are doing the right thing, which is education. This is the gateway to success. This is what I do with the School of Digital. I teach skills: e-commerce, payment, crypto, NFTs, practical skills that give people competitive advantage. So tomorrow, not in 3 months or 2 years, like universities do, they have the skills to actually kill it. And the education is moving to that kind of dynamic in which you don't pay for titles anymore. You pay for the skills that will allow you to survive. Yeah. So thank you guys for the questions. Anytime that you want. Yeah, Manu.
Yeah, one more thing. Remember, guys, next week is the last class in the year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we are having the next week class Saturday and coming back on the 8th of January, Saturday.
Yes, we talk about it. We're going to have a huge break. Fantastic for those of you who are behind assessments to catch up.
Is that the 2nd?
Sorry?
The 2nd of January?
But the class is on Saturday. So the first class will be, I think it's the 8th, right? The 8th of January.
Yes, I think so. We'll be sending you an email with all the information, but yes, after the next class, we're going to have a huge break.
Santi, I have a problem with the accelerate.
Yep.
So I'm doing the assessment and I'm the question number 8 and I can't save it.
All right, so you can go for the question number 8 and you have completed it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't save it. I can't go farther.
To the next one. All right, it should be a glitch. I will have a look at it. Anybody else is having issue with the question 8? Do you want to show the screen just for me to have a quick look if you have it there?
Yeah.
I don't seem to have access, Santi, to that assessment for some reason.
You can access?
No, I can't. Yeah.
All right, let's show me your screen. Richard, if you want to stay for 5 minutes after the class, we can have a look at that straight away if you want. If for any reason you don't have access to that innovation assessment, I need to know. So Sarah, go ahead, share the screen to see what happens with the question 9.
Share screen.
So Alvin, you have completed the assessment, yeah?
It's this one. So I can save it.
All right, it might be because you have an autocorrection system there that is stopping. No, no.
It is just trying to save it, but
all right, yeah. Look, maybe the server. So probably just let's wait a little bit. Probably the server is just crazy with everybody submitting assessments. I mean, people that is using Accelerate as a platform. It may be Sarah. So don't worry. Keep working on it. And if you cannot go to the next question, I'm going to fix it somehow.
Okay.
But if it's loading, yeah, I don't see what is the situation. Anybody else is having an issue with the assessment in terms of going forward? Maybe a connection issue, maybe because you're in Zoom and it demands a lot of broadband for you to be able to save in the server. It may be. So try later, Sarah.
Yeah.
If you have an issue, you guys have my email. Reach me in my email. I try to answer it straight away or talk to me on LinkedIn. All right, guys, it's 12. Have a good one. I'm going to stay with those of you who have an issue with the assessment in terms of not having access to it.
Thank you.
All right, but if you have finished the assessment, all good. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you. Thank you. Thank you for today. All right, Richard, I'm going to jump to your profile. I'm going to log in as yourself just to find out what is the situation.
It also shows that I haven't started the processes block either. It says not started when I look at the modules.
All right, let's have a look at it. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Let's see what is the situation. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's have a look first of all to your progress. So I'm just going to search for you, Richard. Oh. Oops, this is something that I need. Which one is your right email, Richard, by the way? Is this one with the dots in the middle or this one here?
Actually, both of them work, but I probably registered with the one you're on now.
This one. All right. That. Yeah. All right. Let's see if that may be a situation. Okay. All right. Before you do this. So Richard. All right. So this is so far your situation, Richard. You have finalized it with the people. Yeah, we can see that here as well. So in terms of the baseline, all done, competent. Everything has been passed. People block, competent. Manage project integration. I still need to mark this one. And establish innovative environments, which was the previous class you submitted. No, it's in progress, and we need to do the observation. All right, so from this perspective, let's manage this quickly so we can move forward. I'm going to mark it straight away for you. That will give us competency in that unit. Good. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah, really good test. Yeah, pretty good. Project logs. Yeah. This is all good. Good. All right, so this is satisfactory now. Just going to finish with this. Just for now, I complete this later. Finalize marking. All right, let's see if this changes the situation now. So all good. All right, this has been finalized. It takes few minutes for this to change to competent. That is something that the system will do. But yeah, we just need to wait a little bit for it to happen automatically. Now let's have a look at the next one. So this is the innovative work environments. This is the, you are working on this one, yeah?
Well, I haven't been able to bring it up on the screen.
Ah, yes. And that is because the system is telling that. Let me just check again. Cancel enrollment. Yeah. All right. So now let's find out what is going on using a different process. You're right. Yes, Richard. I need to find out why this is happening with your profile. So leave it with me. I will be looking at this in the next couple of hours, and I will send you an email with a screenshot that this is green now. All right. I need to find out what is going on. But yeah, there is an issue there. I will fix it. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you.
Richard, thank you. Thank you.
See you.
I'll be in touch. See you next week. Bye. All right, Sarah, let's have a look at yours. All right.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your progress as well. If you want, do you have 5 minutes?
I have, sorry?
Do you have 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. So let's just check how you're going. You should be all right, because you have to be submitting all the assessments on time. So it takes Sarah. All right, Sarah. So can you see my screen? No. We show you my screen. So this is you.
Okay.
All right. So the first 4 units completed, and then the last 2. I need to do some marking for you. I'm going to do it straight away. I know how good you are, so I am just going to mark this satisfactory now. Yep, all good. Yep. Right. Just be careful with examples, Sarah, but I will mark it satisfactory anyway.
Yeah, because we were doing like all together.
I know. That's the good thing, you know, when we do things together, and I know what you guys have done, and so it's not difficult, the marking. Some feedback.
Without H, Santi.
Oops. You guys.
Anyone in Australia, they call me like Sarah with a H.
I know, you get used to it. It's that, yeah, but you're right. Make sure you complete.
I will show you the new website soon.
Please do, please do.
I want feedback from you.
I love it. I love to analyze websites. It's kind of my hobby. I really like it because I know how important it is. The websites have to be simple, down to the point. And when you want to talk to your customers, you use social media, which is something that you guys do pretty well. All right, this has been marked. Let's go back to your assessments.
So I don't know why I can't save the assessment. I can save the question so I can go further to the next one.
Yeah, that is a very, very weird one. I will just.
I close it and I open it again.
And it's still the same problem. All right, I have marked this. Let's check it out if I can access to your platform. So search contacts. Sarah. Actions. Launch as a student. I reckon there is an issue.
In learning plan.
Learning plan.
And then the last one. Establish innovative work environment. Yeah. Can you see the questions that yeah. Until the 7th. I don't know why I can't see the 8th. I can reply to the 8th, but I can't save it. Why you're saving an account?
I don't know. Oh,
no.
But that's what I mean, you know, like, who knows? I will find a solution. All right. The good thing about this software accelerator.
Maybe I will try tomorrow. Maybe it's my computer.
Try, maybe, I don't know what it could be. It's good that we recorded it because this company Accelerate, by the way, they are in Brisbane. They are amazing. Amazing. So the company that helps me with the content management system and the learning management system is from Brisbane. And they are amazing with customer service. So if there is a glitch, they will fix it in no time. And if for any reason we have an issue and we find a way to solve it, you send me the answers and I feel you, which is not ideal, but don't worry. Leave it like that. Tomorrow is Sunday, so don't worry. We work on this next week, okay?
Yeah, I can try next week.
Try tomorrow if you have time. Otherwise, don't worry. We find a solution to this. I will find a solution to this.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Santi.
Have a good rest of the weekend.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Say hello to Simone.
Of course.